Hello, Internet user. Are you looking for more video thrills? Then you need to head over to Sony's Action Cam channel right now. You'll see some of the world's top athletes, adventurers, even animals using the Action Cam to capture crazy footage as they tackle slopes, rapids, racing tracks, and bike trails. And through all this, with features like advanced built-in image stabilization, the Live View remote, and GPS, the Action Cam by Sony delivers crisp, clear, full HD videos like you've never seen before in a compact, slick design. So click here or at the link in the description below to watch more incredible Action Cam videos on their channel. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Get in on the action, and while you're there, make sure to subscribe. They used to sit about as far apart as two smartphones could, but Google's Nexus line and Samsung's Note family now share at least two things in common: an affinity for oversized screens and a pretty serious price tag. I'm Michael Fisher with Pocket Now. Find out which is the better fit for you in Google Nexus 6 versus Samsung Galaxy Note 4. This is a complicated comparison, so we're going to break it down into two simple sections: reasons to pick the Note 4 and reasons to go for the Nexus 6. Spoiler alert, the first section is a little longer. If you've been following our Note 4 coverage, you already know that we think it's the smartphone that best makes use of its phablet-sized screen. The Note's multi-window feature lets you do two or more things at once, whereas the Nexus, for now, confines you to a single full-screen app at a time. The S Pen stylus that gives the Note its name functions as both mini smartphone mouse and artistic implement, backed up by a digitizer that registers up to 2,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. Beneath that sits a display that's slightly smaller than the Nexus's, but which delivers more accurate colors in super dim settings and brighter, more readable text in super bright ones. The Note 4 also features Gorilla Glass 4 cover glass, stronger than the Nexus's Gorilla Glass 3. Spin around past the sides, beveled aluminum magnesium on the Note and straight aluminum on the Nexus, and you'll find the Note 4's backside comes right off, granting access to the removable battery and expandable storage. You won't find any of that on the sealed-up Nexus, nor will you find the bevy of other pockmarks on the Note's casing. The added microphones for noise cancellation, the IR port for TV control, the fingerprint scanner on the home key, the blood oxygen, heartbeat, and UV sensor that powers the S Health suite. The Samsung brand name is synonymous with feature overload, and the Note 4 is probably the best example of that mentality. And all those features are crammed into a casing that's narrower and therefore easier to grip than the Nexus. Both phones offer an optically stabilized camera, with the Note 4 edging out the Nexus in resolution on both front and rear shooters. The Note 4's shots are also better, if you're a fan of color and contrast like we are. The Note also takes full-resolution shots in 16:9 format, compared to the Nexus's 4:3. That's not necessarily superior, but it does fit most screens better. Video winner goes to the Note as well, with, again, enhanced color and contrast and much faster autofocus. You may have noticed somewhat better acoustic performance from the Note in those video comparisons, and phone calls follow that trend. While our voice tests have been close, callers have said they prefer the Note 4 for clarity and background noise suppression. Another point for Samsung. The Nexus 6 isn't taking all this lying down, Natch. There are some reasons you might choose Google's outsized offering over Samsung's, beginning with price. Comparing unlocked pricing on AT&T, the Nexus is almost $150 cheaper than the Note 4. Contract price difference is less notable at $50. And while you sacrifice a lot of utility for the savings, you get software that's much prettier in return. Stock Android Lollipop is gorgeous in its sherbet simplicity, much classier than Samsung's conflicted, at times gaudy TouchWiz. And since it's a Nexus, you get much faster updates to the latest version, as well as Qi wireless charging right out of the box, in case you're tired of being tethered to wires all the time. You don't need the Batwing logo in the center of the finger dimple to remind you that the Nexus 6 is a Motorola-made handset. Its metal-rimmed polycarbonate casing feels reassuringly sturdy, and the components within are coated with a water-repellent nano-coating to prevent splash damage. The dual front-firing speakers aren't much louder than the Note 4's, but their positioning is worlds better, for obvious reasons. And Motorola's other specialty, radio design, comes through loud and clear too. With new LTE band support, its 4G compatibility is essentially the best you can find in the Android world. Finally, if you're a developer looking for the best possible stock Android sandbox for your efforts, obviously an unlocked Nexus 6 is going to serve you much better than any other device. And that is, after all, how the Nexus family got its start. But this is a comparison for consumers. Consumers who, in our experience, like to get the most for their dollar. And for them, it's tough to recommend the Nexus 6 over the Note 4. The Note brings so much added utility that it's really more miniature tablet than blown-up smartphone. Its software shortcomings are largely cosmetic and can mostly be plastered over. Even if you never use its extra features, they're there for the 1 or 2 times a year they might come in handy. And even with all those features crammed in, its densely packed design makes the Note seem smaller than it really is. By contrast, the Nexus 6 seems not only oversized, but oversized for no real reason. As we said in our review, it's a fine smartphone, but it doesn't realize the potential of its large frame nearly as well as the Note 4. That fundamental confusion combines with the shortcomings in display, camera, and extensibility to make it the less finished, the less impressive of these two contenders. Unless you're specifically looking for a Nexus line device, or you only want a big screen if it's mated to simple software, the Galaxy Note 4 is probably your better bet. There's plenty to like and dislike about each of these phablets, folks, so please check out our full review of each at Pocket Now, linked in the description below. Also see our other comparisons and reviews here on YouTube, and please subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Till next time, this has been Michael Fisher with Pocket Now, Captain Two Phones on Twitter, and you know what they say about really big phones? They take really big cases. I'm here all week, folks. We'll see you next time.